This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning, Rabbi. We're learning Sefer Zechariah. We're up to Parak Vav. Okay, today we're going to learn in Yana Diyama. There's a lot of news about aqueduct lately. Today we're going to learn about horses. Okay? But now what you're thinking? Belma? Yeah. We're going to learn about Susim today, horses. The Nevuah of Zechariah, Parak Vav, Ashuv. And once again, Va'esa I raised my eyes, Va'era, and I saw V'hinei Arba Markava Yisyotzos, 4 chariots coming out, Mibein Shnei Haharim, from between the 2 mountains. The Haharim Harei Nechoshes. The mountains were mountains of copper. So, he sees these 4 chariots emanating from copper mountains. What are these 4 chariots? And why are the mountains copper? Let's begin with Rashi. It says Rashi, V'haharim Harei Nechoshes. These mountains were mountains of copper. Simen al Choizek Malchios Halalu. So according to Rashi, these 4 chariots represent the 4 Malchios, the 4 Golios. Haba Lahem Ibein Shnei Haharim, that come from among the 2 mountains. So in other words, the reason why these mountains were copper is to demonstrate that these 4 Malchios emanated from a very strong source. Shu Kasha, Va'amitz. She'ilu Dalad Merkavos, these 4 chariots, Shluchei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, are the agents of God, Laseis Memsheles L'Dalad Malchios, to give power to the 4 Malchios. Who are the 4 Malchios? Bavel, Madai, Yavan, Edom.
Rashi is different.
Bavel, Madai, Yavan, Edom. I can only tell you what my Rashi has.
No, here it says, Anti Yosef is Yishmael.
Yeah, and he also said Greece, Yava, and Yishmael is Rome. Not according to that, not according to Satsino.
Well,
Yishmael is Rome.
This is what my Rashi says. I think you're reading the wrong Rashi though. Actually, you are reading the wrong Rashi. Okay? You're reading the Rashi before Pasuk. You're reading the Rashi in the last parak. There's a well-known Rashi on the last parak who says the 4 Malchios are Arba Shehim Shmoina, and this is a Rashi we've quoted many times. Most recently, when we were learning about Chad Gadya, the explanation of Reb Chaim Knievsky, how the 8 different characters in Chad Gadya correspond to the 8 Umais: Bavel, Kazdim, Madai, Paras, Antiochus, Umaykton, Edom, Yishmael. Is that what you're referring to?
That's what Rashi said.
That's what Rashi said in the Rashi before. Now, it happens to be next week's Parsha. Well, in Parshas coming up, not next week, in 2 weeks, Maseh Eila, Maseh B'nai Yisrael. Eila is Edom, Maseh Mem is Madai, Beis is Bavel, and Yod is Yavan. And Megal Mukos points out, Eila, Maseh B'nai Yisrael. Eila is Azla Geiresh, Azal, we left. Geiresh, we were chased out. Munach Revi, we were placed in the 4 Goliaths. That's on those words, Eila Maseh B'nai Yisrael. Okay. So this is a reference to the 4 Goliaths. They emanated from a very strong place. Again, what are the 4 Goliaths? Bavel, Madai, Yavan, Edom. According to the Ibn Ezra, the 4th Goliath is Goliath Yishmael, and Rome is a offshoot of Yavan. And that refer you back to the 3-part shir on the Dalad Goliaths. Okay. But Rashi Shita is as he says. Okay. Now, that's the simple explanation of the 4 chariots. According to the Psikta, the 4 chariots refer to 4 Machanos of Yisrael, namely Yehuda, Ruvain, Ephraim, and Dan. But we're going to go with what the Rishonim say over here, the Daled Malchios. And Rashi says the 2 mountains signify their source of strength. He brings down the Abarbanel, say that the 2 mountains either represent the 2 ends of the earth, that these 4 Malchios will occupy the world, or they signify the 2 Batei Mikdashos, which were situated atop the Harabayas, and these 4 Malchios spanned the time between Bayis Rishon and Bayis Sheni, including those 2 Batim. Okay, so let's identify the horses. And horse number 1, Bamarkava Rishona, the first chariot.
Inside post.
The first chariot Susim adumim, red horses. Red horse gets the first spot. Uva Merkava Hashenis, the second chariot. Susim shchayrim, the black horse. Uva Merkava Ashlishis, the third horse. Susim levanim, the white horse. Uva Merkava Rias, the fourth chariot. Susim berudim, spotted horses. Amutzim, the color of ash. Okay, so now let's get the horses down. All spectators, please get your horses down. Horse number 1 is the red horse. So horse number 2 is the black horse. Horse number 3 is the white horse. Horse number 4 is the spotted, ash-colored horse. I want to share with you 3 perushim on these horses, okay? Start with the Rosh HaMefarshim Rashi. Rashi learns like this. Who's the red horse? Says Rashi, Susim Adumim, Haim Sheher Kivu Es Bavel. The first chariot is a chariot that was a chariot of Babylon, Shehi Aduma, which was red. Like when Nebuchadnezzar saw Bavel, Bavel was represented by gold, Antu Roisha Didava, gold, it has a reddish hue. Okay, so according to Rashi, the first horse, the red horse, is what? Bavel. Number 2, Shechayrim, black. Who's the black horse? Laharkiv es Madai. Madai. According to Rashi, we're going to break up Madai and Parsha into 2, okay? So Madai shehishchira es pneim shel Yisrael bimei Haman. They darkened our faces in the times of Haman. Now this is a little bit of something to think about, because usually when we refer to darken, we refer to Yavan. Right, remember? Choshech. Yavan, Shechshichu, Einei Yisrael B'Gzerosein. Rashi says Shachar, black, refers to Haman. White, says Rashi, Levanim Laharkiv es Paras, the Persians, Shabana es Havayis. That was a turn for the better. During the times of the Persians, we rebuilt the temple. Who gave permission to build the second Beis HaMikdash? Koresh. Brudim, spots, Hema, according to Rashi. So interesting how Rashi breaks up Madai and Paras. The spotted Hema Menumarim, they're spotted. Laharkiv es Yavan. She'inu es Yisrael. They tortured Kal Yisrael b'minei gezeros mashunas du mizeh. With different decrees, different one from the other. Amutzim, ash colored. Laharkiv Yishmael. According to Rashi, ash refers to Yishmael. I'm not sure what amutzim is. The Yonasan Tergame Katmanin. Yonasan translated it as Katmanin, ashes. Okay? So these are the 4 horses. Interesting, according to Rashi, the 4 horses represent 4 Malchios. And one of them is missing. No? You have the red is Bavel, black is Madai, white is Paras, Berudim is what? Greece, and Amutzim, interesting, Laharkiv Yishmael, and then there's another Gersa, who? Sarmacherim, what? Edom. Interesting, if you look in the Mari Kara, he says,
When you said Rashi said Laharkiv Edom Yishmael.
My Rashi says Laharkiv Yishmael, Sfar Macherim Edom. What do you have?
As I said, Laharkiv Edom Yishmael, V'lo Yadati Malach Shonamus.
So according to Rashi, it's both. Okay, this is the explanation of Rashi. So then, let's take a look at the explanation of the Radak. Okay, what are these 4 colors? Look in Radak Pasuk Beis B'Markava Remez L'Malchus Bavel. The red represents Bavel. Chumash Shapir Susim Shchayrim. Chumash Shapir Rashti. Susim Shchayrim. Husha'amar Lamala Shirukim. Beforehand, in the Nevuah, if you remember, Zechariah saw saw striped horses. Here he's seeing paras as black. So the Radak argues on Rashi. Rashi breaks up Madai and Paras. The Radak puts Madai and Paras together. V'karam lamala shrukim. Why are they black? Because they darkened our face in the days of Haman. Also, some people say Persians. We don't have any Persians here today. Persians, they were accustomed to wearing black clothing. White. According to Rashi, white is the Persians. They allowed us to build Beis HaMikdash, which was like the light of the world. According to the Radak, white. Remez Malchus Yavan. Now the question is, why are the Greeks called white? Says Radak, if you look in Rav Sadia Gaon, who is the first king of Greece? Alexander. He was a chacham, a philosoph. You know what a philosoph is?
Heavy thinker.
Yeah. V'hachachmahu davar lavan. Wisdom is something white, and mechuvar and clear. Therefore, we refer to his malchus as white. And what's the fourth malchus? This is very interesting. Susim berudim emutzim. Spotted, ashen. B'markava says Rosham shnei gavanim, two colors. Berudim, which is a color that has like samim levanim, white spots, like barad. Barad is what?
Hail.
Vehem b'tuch gavan acher, which is in a different color. Now, why are they called spots? Umashahar lo zeh gavan machas Yishmael. Now, very interesting. There is obviously tampering going on with the Radak. There's obviously tampering going on with the Radak, and you will read the words. The Radak, the words of my Radak, I don't know what you have in your text. The words of my Radak is, why are the fourth Malchus referred to as spots? He says, because this refers to Malchus Yishmael. Those Ishmaelites, they think they're strengthening, they're preserving the law of Moses. Shehi Levana Kabar, which is white like hail. But they mix it with many faiths, like the hail is mixed with other colors. This is clearly not talking about the Yishmaelim. This is clearly talking about the Christians.
Why not the Muslims?
Because the Muslims never have attempted to claim they're being Mechazek Torah's Moshe. They don't have Torah's Moshe. They don't have the Old Testament. The Christians, they have the Old Testament. And they claim they're the new Israel. The problem is their religion is mixed with all kinds of heretical beliefs and polytheistic beliefs of the ancient Greeks. All of their holidays have old customs of paganism. So they claim to be monotheistic, but it's well known, especially their primary holiday, December 25th, almost all their practices are from the ancient custom of Saturnalia, right? Saturnalia, which is a pagan holiday. So that's what the Radak is saying. But obviously the Christian censors took out Romi, took out Christianity, and they put in Yishmaelim. And they bring even in the art scroll on the bottom, they say in the Machon Ma'ar edition, the new Ma'ar, this is not the Ma'ar. There's a newer one even, Ma'ar. I don't know if it has a Malbim though. They have the correct Gersa. Okay, so very interesting to know. Otherwise, it doesn't really make too much sense that the Arabs never claimed to usurp Torah's Moshe. Okay. So these are now I want to share with you one final pshat. So according to Rashi, what are they? Red is Bavel, black is Madai, white is Paras, spotted is Yavan, ashen is Edom and Ishmael. According to Radak, red is Bavel, black is Paras Madai, white is the Chachma of Greece, spotted is the nonsensical beliefs of the Christians. And what is ashen? Amutzim, the Radak says, Malchus Roimi, But according to the correct Gersa in the Radak, it's probably referring to Shema. Now I want to share with you the Malbim. The Malbim learns that all of these four Malchios that were seen are only the Malchios that were extant from the time of Zechariah and on. In other words, Zechariah comes in the times of when? Beginning of the second Beis HaMikdash. There are no Bavlaim there. The Persian Empire was on the downfall, right?
It was on the upswing. The Persian Empire was on the upswing.
In the times of the beginning of the second Beis HaMikdash?
Until Alexander Mukden came along.
Okay, so Alexander comes when?
He comes after the Zechariah.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken...
300 years before the current era.
But how many years into the second Beis HaMikdash?
The second
68?
was 400 and change. So it was about... it was probably about 200 years into the second Beis HaMikdash. Because I believe that...
How long? How many years?
Somewhere in the 200 range. Because...
Chanukah, put it this way, Chanukah was about 200 years before the Churban Bayesheni, right?
No, it was about... Yeah.
200 years before
right.
Churban Bayesheni.
Right, so then, at that time, I believe Yochanan Kohen Gadol was
in times of Chanukah?
When
the Greek
Alexander Mukden came to Yerushalayim, who was the Kohen Gadol? Wasn't that Yochanan Kohen Gadol?
Shimon.
Shimon?
Yeah. Remember, he used to see Shimon in his dreams. And
so if there was Shimon, then this is before...
But Alexander was before Chanukah. Well before Chanukah.
Yes.
So how before Chanukah?
Antiochus
50 years before Chanukah?
Probably it would be more.
Yeah.
He was.
So then
he was in the BCE. He was in the 300s.
He died in the 300, low 300 BCE.
Yeah.
So let me tell you what the Malbim says. Okay, I want you to, if you have a Malbim, or if you don't, listen carefully. In the Navi of Nebuchadnezzar, the gold was Bavel. Zechariah is not seeing any horses of gold because the Babylonians are long gone. Silver was Madai. Says the Malbim, in times of Zechariah, Madai was long gone. What Malchus is beginning in times of Zechariah? Yavan. Nebuchadnezzar saw the Yavanim as Nechoshes, as copper. Okay? We once explained, copper signifies brazenness, right? Copper forehead means brazen. Right? That because in order to be successful in wisdom, in habaishan lamed, you have to have a certain chutzpah, a certain brazenness. That was Yavanim. So Zechariah here is seeing the copper mountains. That represents that from now on, everything is emanating from the Yavanim. The first horse that he saw was what? Red. That refers to the Yavanim, who will spill a lot of blood. The second one was black. That refers to the Romans. They knew how to spill blood even more than the Greeks.
They conquered Greece.
The third one are white. Listen to the Malbim. This is really amazing. That even though in the beginning of the Roman Empire they were barbaric, they were cruel, they were crusades, they were pogroms, but as the Roman Empire progresses, in our time, says the Malbim, things have lightened. They became Malchus Shel Chesed, and therefore they're white. In other words, relative to the early years of the Roman Empire, the Malbim says, Achar she'tebatel Malchus Roimi, Tam Malchus Achar Shalot Tidon Kol Kach. Doesn't mean they're not...
What times are they talking about that they became a Malchus of Chesed?
I don't know.
Probably in the time...
After the Crusades, let's say.
The Malbim was in the 19th
That was in the
century.
1000 or 1100.
What?
The
Malbim lived in the 1800s.
The Malbim wrote his commentary between the years 1264 and 1268 in the city of Linschitz, where my great-great-grandfather was the Rav of the city.
This is in the 1800s.
Yeah, 1864 to 1868. He wrote Yoshua Chavav Tammuz 1866, Yechezkel Yud Cheshvat 1867, Tehillim, Chav Dal Cheshvan, 1868. And Daniel, he finished Chaf Adar, 1868. In the city of Linschitz, in that era.
That's the Malbim writing in that era?
Yeah.
So he's saying that in his time, in the 1800s, that the Vatican was a Malchus of Chesed?
Relative to the year 1056, Katnu, right? 1096.
Yeah.
The Crusades.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Kolkach, he says they weren't shed dam. Kolkach, okay. Then
He was thinking of Franz Josef in Austria, he was the emperor at that time.
he says the fourth Merkava are horses that are spotted and speckled. These are referred to the kings that will rise up in times of the Geula. And they have turned away from the being Malchus Shel Chesed, and they're back to their murderous ways until the end of days. Okay, so these are three Perushim in these horses. Rashi, the Radak, and the Malbim. Va'an, Va'imar el HaMalach, says Zechariah, I spoke up and I said to the angel, Hadoiver who spoke to me, Ma'ila Adoni, what am I looking at? Vayan HaMalach, the Malach responded, Va'yomer Eloi, he said to me, Eile arba ruches hashamayim. These are the four ends of the heavens. In other words, these are the heavenly officers that will rule over the four ends of the earth. Yoitzois, they are emanating, mehisyatzev, from standing al adon kol aretz, near, from before Hashem. Says the Radak, the arba ruches are to the four ends. They're going out to the four ends to give reshus to the Daled Malchus. These are the heavenly ministers that is the source of power of the Daled Malchus. Okay, so let's see where are these Daled Malchus going. So all you need to do is bear in mind the three Perushim. Rashi, the Radak, and the Malbim. Now we're going to learn where the horse is going. And they're off! Pasuk Vav. Asher Ba.
So first we have to know what the odds are.
Asher Ba. That to them, Hasusim Hashchoyrim Yoitzim. The black horses are going, El Eretz Safain, to the north. The Halavonim, and the white ones, Yatsu El Acharim, are following them. The Harbarudim, and the spotted ones, Yatsu El Eretz Hateman.
They go to the south.
Going to the south. The Hamutzim, the ashen, Yatsu, they go out, Vayvakshu Laleches, and they're asking to go, L'Hisalech, Baretz, to go on the earth. Vayomer, and he said, L'chu Zal Chubaretz, go into the earth, Vatis Halach Nabaretz, and they went out to the earth. So now we have to know, where are the red horses going? Where are the black horses going? Where are the white horses going? Where are the spotted horses going? And where are the ashen horses going? But interestingly, the red horses are not mentioned here. Mm-hmm. What happened? They slipped out of the gate? What happened to the red horses?
This supports the Malbim.
The gate didn't open.
Well, says Rashi, Pasuk Vav, Asher ba hasusim hashom yotzim al eretz safin laharkiv es madai. The black ones are going to Mount Madai. Va'adumim like kasav yotzim. Why? Because they're long gone. According to Rashi, the red ones are Bavel. Bavel's done with. Bavel already lost the race. Bavel won a race before, but now they turned them into glue.
They were scratched before the gate opened.
Yeah, Bavel didn't enter this one. The halavanim yatsu al achreim, and then the white ones. So the black ones go to the north, very understandably. The Medians conquer the Babylonians. Bavel's in the north. The halavanim yatsu al achreim. The Persians follow to conquer Madai in the north. And then the Brudim, according to Rashi, the Brudim are who? The Greeks. They're going to the south. We know Yavan went to the south. They went to Egypt.
So they're leaving. Where is the gate? Is it in Yerushalayim?
No, the gate is.
Well, we have to figure out north-south. We have to know where they were leaving from.
Well,
Doesn't say in the right.
The two mountains.
Where are they going
It doesn't say
from?
where the mountains are.
Well, where's the place of origin? Relative to Eretz Yisrael. In other words, the place of relative to Eretz Yisrael. To go to Bavel, usually you say
It's Sofim.
right, even though it's not really, even though it's really east. Remember what we said, because the way to get there is
Right.
through the northern passage.
Yeah.
And now Greece goes southward. Greece expands to Egypt. Expands to where else? Greece split up into four. You had
But Greece is actually a little bit northeast
of what?
of Israel.
Greece is
No, but relative to the
Northwest, I'm sorry. northwest.
relative to the Babylonian Empire, Greece is going south. In other words, because they conquer Egypt. Rashi says Laharkiv es Yavan v'ilo milchmi at Paras. And Rav Sadia says Melech HaNegev is Melech Yavan. And then the Amutzim are Rome and Ishmael, and they expand to the whole world. That's Pasuk Zayin, v'ha'amutzim, the ashen ones, Yatsu, they go out, v'yivashu lechas, and they asked to go, l'salech ba'aretz, and he said, okay, go and expand. In other words, they
Are
were...
they going to conflict with those that are going to Tzafon and those that are going to Cameron? Because they're going to go everywhere. So they're obviously...
Yeah, well, they take over. Yes, the fourth Malchus, Rome, takes over the world. Now that's according to Rashi. What about according to the Radak? The red ones are not mentioned. According to Radak, that's Bavel. The black ones are Madai Paras. They go to the north. Who are the white ones? Yavan. The white ones follow them to the north. Because Alexander also kills Daryavesh up in the north. And then the Brudim, who are the Brudim? According to the Radak, the Brudim are... Right, our Girsa was Yishmael before, but we said it was a mistake, and here you see it's a mistake, because here the Radak says the Brudim is Rome.
Alexander himself kills Darius?
Yeah.
Destroyed Persian Empire.
Okay. Pasuk Ches. I just want to point out the Malbim says, who are these horses? Where are they going? The red one is Greece, and the red one is not being spoken about. Then you have the black one that goes to the north, which is Rome. They're going to take the north. And the white ones follow. Who are the white ones according to the Malbim? The Medina Shel Chesed.
And the spotted is probably Gog and Magog.
And the spotted ones will come out Karev L'Mos HaMashiach, and they'll be aroused to war. Vayazik Oisi, and they summoned me. Vayazik, he summoned me. Vaydaber Elai Lemar, he said to me, saying, Re'eh, see, hayotzim al Eretz Tzafon.
Is the Malach speaking?
Yeah. No, Zechariah is saying the Malach summoned me.
Yeah.
Right? Vaydaber Elai Lemar, he said to me, saying, Re'eh, see, hayotzim al Eretz Tzafon, those nations going out to the north. Hey nichu es ruchi, they have appeased, allayed my soul, bi'ar Tzafon in the north. In other words, they've allayed my anger. Because they're going to destroy Bavel, that appeases me. Hashem was not happy with Bavel, so the fact that the Medians and the Persians were conquering Bavel, that was allaying Hashem's anger. Says Rashi, Re'eh hayotzim el Eretz Tzafon laharkiv Madai uparas. The ones going to the north to mount Madai and Paras, hinichu es ruchi, shachachu es chamasi. They're causing my anger to subside b'Bavel. Sheshchisu es Belshazzar v'zar shel Nebuchadnezzar, because Belshazzar and the children of Nebuchadnezzar were corrupt. Hu sha'amar Hashem ehavu v'yasa cheftzei b'Bavel. God lovingly is carrying out His will in Bavel. So Rebbeinu Shem is appeased, so to speak, by what's happening in Bavel. Okay, Rabbi Say? With that, we will conclude today's Zechariah.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.